Alright, so here we are, back at the inside of the Undead Parish. This is the area right before we fight against the boss. As you can see, I adjusted the brightness. I noticed that the last 6 videos were really dark, so hopefully this should make things a little bit clearer. As you can see right now, I had a lot of humanity. I used my humanity to reverse the hollowing, so that I'm going to be able to summon when I fight this boss. So yeah, when you're a human, you'll be able to see the summon sign over here. Outside on the side entrance of the church, you'll also find a bunch of summon signs randomly of other players, because some people, they like to play the multiplayer mode around this area because it'll just make the boss a lot easier, and it's a great way to get souls, because if you die against the boss, you'll be able to keep all the souls, and also, if you beat the boss, you'll get, I think, 10,000 souls. And a Sunlight Medal if you join the Sunlight Warrior Covenant. Yeah, this boss is a little bit tricky. The main draw about this boss, it might remind some people of the Man-Eater. Well, an easier version of the Man-Eater boss from Demon Souls. The reason why this is because you're on a rooftop, just like the Man-Eater, so you still run the risk of falling off the boss stage and then dying. Another issue about the Man-Eater, another similarity, is that after a while of fighting against this boss, eventually a second boss will come out and attack you, just like the Man-Eater. It takes a bit of practice to do this. That's the good thing about the summon sign. You don't have to be a human to do it. You can just get yourself summoned, and you'll eventually learn how to fight against this boss, and like find out what movements to avoid and what range this guy has. Because really, when it comes to the bosses, or any mini-boss in this game actually, is that you'll be more about having experience and practice instead of just having like the stronger weapons, which is good. Yeah, this boss is heavily resistant to fire, so fire bombs or pyromancies won't really work. You have to be really careful about that fire breath attack that just happens. Has a lot of range and does a lot of damage, and it'll hit stun you for a while too, and that'll leave you wide open to more swings from the gargoyle. And since that guy's attacks have such long reach, you'll end up getting hit by them. But the good thing about the fire attack though is that it leaves them wide open to attacks of your own, so you can just go around them and then start hitting them. Yeah, usually the best way to go about fighting most of the bosses is to find out when they're most vulnerable and then attack them from behind. Not very many bosses have attacks that involve going in, like, getting hit from behind. Maybe there's an exception of like maybe 2 or 3 bosses, but like early on in the game though you won't find it. Anyways, the good thing also about having a summon available, or summons available, is that there's a really good distraction. They're a really good distraction. Alright, so that takes care of the boss. You got 10,000 souls. I was lucky. I got both the Gargoyle Tail Axe and the Gargoyle Helm. They're not really entirely useful. They're mostly just there to be collectibles. And also there is a achievement or trophy for collecting all the unique weapons, and the Gargoyle Tail Axe is really easy to get, and it counts as one of the weapons that you have to collect anyways.
Greetings.
Okay, so what this guy over here is about, in the multiplayer mode, as I mentioned earlier, that if you accidentally attack a person, then they'll start attacking you, and the only way how to get them to not attack you is to talk to this guy. The problem with that, though, is that there's a lot of souls that you end up having to pay just so you can stop that, so the best thing to do is either not attack them at all, or wait for the next playthrough. There's a few good items that you can get from this guy. You can get the Purging Stone. Not very much that you can do with it right now. You don't need that, but it's good to have them like while you still can get them. What these do, yeah, they destroy or break up curses. And the good thing about that is that curses are probably the worst status ailment that you can ever get in this game because once you get it, they start stacking on each other, and it reduces your health by half. So when they stack, and you get cursed twice, then you only have a quarter of your health. And even if you die, they won't go away. You actually need to use a Purging Stone to get rid of it. Also, there's an NPC that'll remove curses as well, but he's really, really far away. The good thing about curses, though, is that you'll be able to fight against certain enemies that you'll be fighting later on in the game. Alright, so just make your way to the Bonfire of the Undead Parish, and then we'll be able to continue on